Exodus chapter 2 verse 1:15-21. Chapter 2. Now a man of the tribe of Levi went and married a Levite woman. The woman conceived and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and caulked it with tar and pitch. She put the child in it and placed it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. When she saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. So the girl went and called the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." When Moses was grown, he went out to his people and watched them at their hard labor. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew. He looked this way and that and, seeing no one, he struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. He went out the next day and saw 2 Hebrew men fighting. "Why are you striking your fellow Hebrew?" he asked the one who started the fight. The man replied, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you intending to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Moses was terrified and thought, "What I did must have become known." When Pharaoh heard of it, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled away from Pharaoh and settled in the land of Midian. There, by a well, he sat down. Now a priest of Midian had 7 daughters who came to draw water and fill the troughs to water their father's flock. Some shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses ran over and helped them and watered their flock. When they returned to their father Reuel, he asked, "Why have you returned so early today?" They answered, "An Egyptian helped us against the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock." "Where is he?" he asked his daughters. "Why did you leave him? Go and invite him to have something to eat." Moses agreed to live with the man, and he gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses. Zipporah bore a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have become an alien in a foreign land." Chapter 3. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. He led the flock to the far side of the desert and arrived at Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that, though the bush was ablaze with fire, it was not consumed. So he said, "I will go over and see this strange sight, because it wasn't burning up." When the Lord saw that he had gone to look, God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses." And Moses said, "Here I am." "Do not come any closer," God said. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." Then he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob." At this, Moses hid his face, because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, "I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers. Indeed, I know their sufferings. I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now, go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people the Israelites out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" God said, "I will be with you. And this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this very mountain." Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what shall I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am Whoiam. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you." God also said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name by which I am to be remembered, generation after generation. Go, assemble the elders of Israel and tell them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, has appeared to me and said, I have concern for you and for the way you are being treated in Egypt. I promise that I will bring you up out of your misery in Egypt into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders will listen to you. Then you and the elders of Israel are to go to the king of Egypt and say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the desert to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless compelled by a mighty hand. But I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that, he will let you go. And I will make the Egyptians favorably disposed toward these people, so that when you leave, you will not leave empty-handed. Tell the Israelites this, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, has appeared to me, saying, I have indeed concerned myself with you and with what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised to bring you up out of the misery of Egypt into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders of Israel will listen to your voice. Then you and the elders of Israel shall go to the king of Egypt and you shall say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. So now, let us go a 3 days' journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not permit you to go, except by a strong hand. So I will stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will do in the midst of it, and after that he will let you go. I will grant this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, and when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Every woman is to ask her neighbor and any woman living in her house for articles of silver and gold and for clothing, which you are to put on your sons and daughters. And so you will plunder the Egyptians. Chapter 4. Moses answered, what if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, the Lord did not appear to you? The Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? A staff, he replied. The Lord said, throw it on the ground. Moses threw it on the ground and it became a snake, and he startled away from it. Then the Lord said to Moses, reach out your hand and take it by the tail. So Moses reached out and took hold of the snake, and it became a staff in his hand. This, then, is the sign, said the Lord, that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you. The Lord also said to him, put your hand inside your cloak. When Moses put his hand inside his cloak, he took it out, and it was covered with leprosy, white as snow. Now put it back into your cloak, said the Lord. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak. When he took it out again, it was like the rest of his flesh. If they do not believe you or pay attention to the first sign, the Lord said, you may call on the second sign and make it happen. But if they still do not believe you or listen to either sign, take some water from the Nile and pour it on the dry ground. The water you take will become blood on the ground. Moses said to the Lord, O Lord, I have never been a man of eloquence. Neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, have I been eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or dumb? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will be with your mouth and teach you what to say. But Moses said, O Lord, please send someone else. Then the anger of the Lord burned against Moses. He said, what about your brother, Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you and will rejoice when he sees you. You shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will be with both of you when you speak and will teach you what you are to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and you were God to him. But keep charge of the message you put into his mouth, and you will use it, both of you, to perform all the wonders that I command you. He will speak to Pharaoh, who will refuse to let the Israelites go. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I perform many signs and wonders in Egypt, he will refuse to listen to you. Then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and with mighty acts of judgment I will bring out my divisions, my people the Israelites, from that land. The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring the Israelites out from among them. Moses said to the Lord, O Lord, I am not a man of words, neither yesterday nor the day before, nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. The Lord said to him, Who has made a mouth for mankind? Or who makes someone mute or deaf, seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall speak. But Moses said, Oh, my Lord, please send someone else. Then the anger of the Lord burned against Moses, and he said, What about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you and will rejoice when he sees you. You are to speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will be with you both as you speak and will teach you what you are to do. He will speak to Pharaoh for you, and it will be as if you were your mouth and you were God to him. And you must take in your hand this staff with which you shall perform the signs. So Moses went back to Jethro his father-in-law and said to him, Please let me return to my brothers in Egypt to see if they are still alive. Jethro said, Go in peace. And the Lord said to Moses in Midian, Go back to Egypt, for all the men who wanted to kill you are dead. So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey and went back to Egypt. He also took the staff of God in his hand. The Lord said to Moses, When you return to Egypt, see that you perform before Pharaoh all the wonders that I have put in your power. But I will harden his heart so that he will refuse to let the people go. Then say to Pharaoh, This is what the Lord says, Israel is my firstborn son. But I said, Let my son go, so he may worship me. But you have refused, so I will kill your firstborn son. On the way at the lodging place, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin and touched Moses's feet with it. Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me, she said. So the Lord let Moses go. At that time she said, Bridegroom of blood, referring to her son's circumcision. Aaron met Moses at the mountain of God and kissed him. Then Moses told Aaron everything the Lord had commanded him, and about all the signs he had instructed him to perform. Moses and Aaron convened all the elders of the Israelites. Aaron spoke all the words that the Lord had spoken to Moses, and performed the signs before the eyes of the people. The people were convinced. When they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their suffering, they bowed down and worshipped. Chapter 5. Afterward Moses and Aaron went in and said to Pharaoh, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me in the wilderness. Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord and I will not let Israel go. Then they said, The God of the Hebrews has met with us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the desert to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God, or he will strike us with plague or with the sword. The king of Egypt said, Moses and Aaron, why are you disturbing the people from their work? Get back to your forced labor. Pharaoh also said, Look, the people of the land are now numerous, and you are stopping them from their labor. That same day Pharaoh commanded the slave drivers and the overseers, You are no longer to supply straw for making bricks to the people. Go and get it for them yourselves. But you must still produce the same number of bricks as before, don't reduce the quota. They are idle. That is why they are crying out, Let us go and worship our God. Make the people work harder and keep them busy so that they will have no time to listen to lying. So the slave drivers and the overseers went out and said to the people, This is what Pharaoh says, I will not supply any more straw for you. Go and get straw for yourselves wherever you can find it, but you must still produce the same amount of bricks. So the people scattered throughout Egypt to gather stubble to use for bricks. The slave drivers pushed them hard. You must complete your work, your daily quota, just as when straw was provided. And the overseers they had appointed beat the Israelites, saying, Why haven't you completed your assignment of bricks yesterday or today, the same as before? Then the Israelite overseers went and pleaded with Pharaoh, Why have you treated us this way? Your servants are being given no straw, yet we are told, Make bricks. Your servants are being beaten, but the fault is your own." But he replied, "Lazy. That's what you are, lazy. That is why you are saying, 'Let us go and worship the Lord.' Now get back to work. No straw will be supplied to you, but you are to produce the same number of bricks." The overseers said to the Israelites, "You must make bricks, and your quota remains the same." When they came out of Pharaoh's palace, they confronted Moses and Aaron, who were waiting to meet them.